So you can see the presentation, right? Okay, so we have started recording your class, and we'll start with this unit 4, another topic of unit 4. We have already completed most of the unit 4 topics. I will just try to repeat that what we have already done. In unit 4 is presentation strategies, and we have completed the definition of presentation, how the strategies are done, what are the tips for having good presentation strategies, and then we have also seen the purpose of presenting our content. We have done audience and locale, that how the audience and the level of the audience make difference in presentation, and how the location also is important when you are giving a presentation. We have seen the audio visual aids, that how the audio visual aids help the presentation to be understood by observations, and what are the main types of audio visual aids. We have done it in the last class. So now we will come to the next topic, which is organizing content, preparing outline, and some more topics which is related to this. So we have today we will start with organizing the contents of presentation, that when you are giving a presentation, how you have to organize your presentation in such a way that it becomes more attractive, and it is like properly done. Okay, so when you are giving, we are talking about the PowerPoint presentation or oral presentations. When it is being done, the contents, when you deliver it to the audience, it has to be organized in a systematic way, and also it has to be like stepwise and very properly done, so to make a kind of a systemized understanding for the audience.
ये क्लास में कौन कर रहा है ये सब?
Ramesh, if this happens
मैम
again,
इसको मैंने रिमूव करी, मैंने रिमूव कर दी.
Ramesh, please mute yourself, otherwise I will have to remove you.
मैम रिमूव करिए मैम, वो मानेंगे नहीं वो.
Okay, so we can start again. So mainly the contents of the presentation can be of many types. Okay, so we first start with the introduction. Introduction means that whatever the topic of your presentation is, it has to be introduced in a proper way. Okay, that means that what the topic is, why are you presenting, what is the purpose of presenting, everything has to be related in introduction. So it is basically the opening statements, the aim or the goal why you are presenting, or the purpose, the layout, that means that how you have arranged your presentation with the proper layout, proper background, proper font, and etc., so that all the slides, that whenever you are continuing with the presentation, the font size, the style, and background has to be same. Okay, so there are several techniques which are used in introduction to begin the presentation. We have seen that there are 4 types of techniques of introduction. First, you can start with a basic question about the topic. That means either you just ask a question to the audience, so that the audience is suddenly like become very active, and they give their concentration at the very first or at the very first beginning. Okay, so if you just pose a question in the opening statement, it gives more attention to the audience and they try to understand that what is the topic about. Okay, so that is one way of doing it. The next is narrating the problems. That if you have a topic like if you have a topic of green emitting green gases, then what are the problems? If you just pose it right in the first slide that this is the problems the planet is facing because of the green gases, so you can always create an interest in the audience that okay, so this is how the problem is and now we are trying to solve it. Okay, so they will have more attention and more interest when you are presenting it in the first slide. Narrating a specific incident, that is also one way when you have to tell a story or a joke or a kind of a anecdote, so to relate your topic with the story or with the idea. Okay, so simply begin with the topic. So this is also a one way that you just simply begin with the topic and you know no more activity or no more creativity you wish to present. Okay, so there are these 4 types of introduction techniques how you can introduce yourself and your topic to the presentation. You can ask a question right in the front slide. You can start it with some kind of a phrase or a story or an anecdote. Then you can start with some specific incident which includes a story. You can start with some major problem which the humanity is facing because of your topic. So that will create interest at how it could be removed. And or you can just simply begin the topic. So introduction, there are only 1 or 2 slides in PowerPoint. You don't have to elaborate on introduction because nobody is interested in what the topic, I mean, just to give the introduction or the summary of it or the abstract of it, but people are more worried about the main issues and the main content of your topic. So introduction has to be only of 2 slides or maybe 1 slide. It should not exceed more than that. Then we come to the main body. The main aim is to make the topic simple and easy. Okay, so you can continue with graphs, charts, animation, movies, clips, drawings, or any kind of a diagram, so that it can add some value or some more observation to your content. Okay, so these type of illustrations generally help the presenter to present and also help the audience to understand in a more proper way. Okay, so all the slides should be like supported by some kind of a diagram or some kind of illustrations. It could be any kind of graph, chart, or any kind of a diagram which you can feel like. Okay, so the presenter can use following methods for the discussion. There are again 4 methods which have been explained here, that how to come up with the main body. So you must have been knowing what is chronological order. Chronological order means any event or any happening which has to be described one by one, layer by layer, or stepwise. That is what is the chronological order. Okay, so chronological order means that you are describing events one by one. Categorically, that means that each category has got some supporting documents. Okay, what that supporting document is, like you have to provide the statistics, you have to provide tables or graphs, and this is how it has to be categorically stated or described the main content of the body. You have to give the cause and effect, the pros and cons. You have to also come up with the problems, its solutions. You have to discuss about the issues and how that issues can be solved. You have to give the results. You have to give recommendations and conclusions. Okay, so all these things you can include in the main body. So main body has got all the events. It can be supported by your examples, by contrasting elements, by making differentiations, by making tables, charts, or bar charts. You can describe it through flow charts. You can describe about being categorized into different type of data, facts, statistics, or anything. So the main aim of the content is that the audience should be able to understand whatever you are trying to say, and you can always make them understand by the help of the supporting documents. It is not only the content or the lecture which you are giving, but it should also be supported by some kind of diagram or some kind of an audio-visual aid. So this main body, the purpose of describing the content of the main body is that it should be supported by some kind of audio-visual aids. Last is conclusion, where you have to present the summary. That means whatever you have described until now, the issues or problems you have raised, and also the content and explanation, you have explained it bullet wise, you have explained it in a systematic manner. So you can always conclude it by highlighting some of the important points. Okay, highlighting means that you can just pick and choose what are the main content or the main text of your topic, and then you can make a summary out of it, and you can present it at the last part of the presentation to the audience, so that the audience can understand that अभी जो आपने 40 minutes तक जो भी बोला था उसका क्या summary हुआ, उसका क्या conclusion है, and if you have spoken for like 40 minutes, that what is the highlight of sitting there and listening to your presentation. Okay, so these were the highlights, that these were the main points which have been portrayed through bullet wise in a kind of a summary or in a kind of a highlighted points. So this is how the conclusion can be done. The conclusion can also end with a quotation. Okay, so you can always have a quotation at the end. You can have lines of poems, a phrase, or any kind of a story or joke which can be related to your conclusion, to the end of the story. So how to end your story in a presentation is also an art, that you don't have to end it abruptly with a conclusion, but you can always come up with some kind of a picture or a cartoon where you have to give an ending in such a way that it just registers in the mind of the audience that this is how the presentation ended. Okay, so it has to be very creative and very suggestive and effective. So this is what we have seen, how to organize the content. If any question arises that in your NSEM exam, that explain the organization of the contents of the presentation, you can always make it into 3 points: introduction, main body, and conclusion. So you are not, you will not be asked the practical way of giving a presentation, but you can be asked about the theoretical aspects of presenting the presentation in your NSEM exams or quiz. So you can always come up with these 3 points and try to explain the organizing content. Now we come to the preparing of an outline. So now the organized means you have collected the information, you have organized a framework, you have made a layout, and you have also made you have the supporting documents also, and you just have made a nice framework of your presentation. But when you are preparing to deliver that presentation, then what are the things which are necessary? Okay, so I have given you a case here that how this case can be presented in a 10 minutes presentation. So the case is, suppose as a project leader. So if you are a project leader of a team, you are asked to prepare a presentation on developing a new product for the company. तो अगर आप किसी कंपनी में काम कर रहे हैं और आपको एक प्रोजेक्ट लीडर बनाया गया है कि आप पास एक प्रोजेक्ट है जिसमें आपको बताना है कि आपकी कंपनी का जो नया प्रोडक्ट है वो किस तरह से आगे बढ़ेगा या उसमें क्या फैसिलिटीज हैं, उसके क्या एडवांटेजेस हैं. सो यू आर वर्किंग इन ए कंपनी, you have got a new product of your company, it has to be launched in the market, and you are considered as a project leader, and you have to give the details of your product to the employees of the company. Okay, so you are the project leader of the team which has prepared the new product. Now you have to give the presentation. तो ये हमारा केस है. So we are studying a case here. So this is the case. You are a project leader and you have to present about your new product to the employees. So generally outline comprises of 3 parts. We have seen introduction, discussion and conclusion. That is what we have seen in the previous slides. जब हम लोग previous slides पर आ रहे थे तो हमने यही 3 चीजें देखी थी: introduction, main body and conclusion. So main body includes discussion, explanation and the supported documents. So this is how a general outline of 3 parts can be related. You have to first give the introduction, you have to give the explanation, and then to conclusion. So with the help of this outline, we can prepare a presentation of 10 minutes. How you can prepare? You can give an introduction about your product, about your company, about the details of the company and what your company is all about. You can give the details about the product, that how this product is different about the products which are already there in the market, how your company has decided that this product would be little different from the things which are already there in the market. So this comes under introduction. Now, when we see this start discussion, so we will try to see that what are the discussions. Product appearance, तो आप उसकी फोटो लगा सकते हैं कि ये product है, इसका ये appearance है, इसमें इतने sections हैं. These sections can be used at a various categories. So various parts of the product can be described. Now, in the second slide, all the appearance which you have given in the first slide can be distributed into various parts, and that is how you can describe about the various parts of the product. Functioning of the product. So here you can come with the design or with the diagram of the design, that how this product would work, or maybe you can give a demo. Okay, so you can always give a demo of your product, that how it is working. तो हम लोग एक बहुत ही सिंपल सा अगर प्रोडक्ट ले लेते हैं, जैसे कि वॉशिंग मशीन. तो अगर हम लोगों ने उसका प्रोडक्ट का अपीयरेंस दिया, वॉशिंग मशीन की फोटो लगाई, उसमें हम लोगों ने बताया कि इसमें इतने फीचर्स हैं. So whatever the features are, you just have explained it in a very nice manner, that these are the features which are there. Here you put the soap, and this is how it churns and tries to take the water in. It has drainage system. It has got automatic shut-off system. So you have explained everything. In the second part, you have explained about the various parts of the product. So how that parts of the product are working, and what is the working conditions of those parts of the product, you have explained here. Then the functioning of the product, that how those functioning means the design of the product is done. उसको आप डेमो में भी दिखा सकते हैं, उसको आप वीडियो के साथ डेमो में दिखा सकते हैं, और डायग्राम्स के साथ भी दिखा सकते हैं. Then you can also state about the facilities, advantages and benefits. Okay, so facilities means how your washing machine is different from all the other washing machines which are there by other companies launched in the market. So if they are already there in the market, how your washing machine is different. If there is some specific feature which makes it different, if it has got some specific feature of making the water cold and hot, or maybe it has got an automatic shift, or it has got automatic drying system or anything. So that type of special facilities or special advantages, if you are giving some kind of a discount, if you are giving some kind of free services or free transportation or free repair services, etc., you can always state in facilities and advantages in your discussions. So the point here is, what we are discussing is that in 10 minutes presentation, you have shown the introduction and you have shown the details of your product. Okay, so और हमारा जो केस था उसको हमने इस तरह से प्रेजेंट किया, and then we come to the conclusion, right? So this is the preparation of an outline. You have to give the introduction, the product appearance, various parts, its functioning of the product, facilities involved in using that product, the advantages and disadvantages, conclusions. Okay, so this is how the outline of your presentation can be prepared. So if you have any questions regarding this, we have seen the organizing of the content of the presentation, how you can organize it. And we have also seen how you can prepare the outline of the presentation. We have seen the study, the case study, and we have tried to understand that. If you have any questions regarding this, we can always discuss. or we can move ahead and we can discuss the questions related to this later on. Now we come to another topic. So we have finished the organizing content and the preparation of presentation. We come to the oral presentation strategies or the oral presentation techniques. So how can we deal with the tips of delivery, oral delivery? Okay, so how we have discussed about how we can see the differences of oral delivery, or maybe the कि उसको present कैसे करना है orally. Okay, so this is how we can discuss about the voice dynamics. Now, when we are presenting it orally, the first and the most important thing which makes it more impressive is what? जब आप oral बोलते हैं, जब आप English बोलते हैं और present कर रहे होते हैं, तो सबसे ज़्यादा important चीज़ क्या है? कि the command over the language and the style and tone of language. Okay, so it has to be more expressive and more exact and clear. when you express. हम लोग ये पहले भी पढ़ चुके हैं oral presentation में कि हम लोगों के presentation में the first thing which is important is you should know the language, you should know the pronunciation and accent, and also you should know the correct way to express yourself. That is the style and tone of giving an oral delivery. Okay. So what are the nuances of oral delivery? कहाँ पर गड़बड़ होती है? Whenever we are speaking, what are the things which generally becomes irritating for the audience, or maybe they don't like it when you are speaking. Okay, so we will see that how this voice dynamics can be improved. Voice dynamics means when you speak, then what are the things which when you are speaking, what are the things which you have to take care about? That there has to be clarity in speech, there has to be explanatory. That means everything should be very clear while you are explaining, and then it has to be like heard at the first row and also at the end of the hall, that your voice should be reaching at the end of the hall, and it should not be very irritating to the people who are sitting in the first row, because you cannot shout. If you are shouting to get yourself heard at the in the last bench, then the front benchers would be having a lot of problem because your voice will become more shrill. So what are these voice dynamics? That how you have to present orally in a proper manner. So what are the oral skills which you have to do, which you have to take care when you are presenting? So we will just go through this. First is be brief. तो जितना आप कम बोलेंगे उतना अच्छा लगता है. You become more calm, and your personality shows that you have got a sense of explanation, only the important points. अगर आप बहुत लिंगर ऑन करते हैं, बहुत ज्यादा बोलते हैं और किसी भी छोटे टॉपिक को आप बहुत एलोबरेट करते हैं, so then you lose the value of that topic and it becomes boring. Okay, so you have to be very brief in whatever you are explaining. So first thing is be brief. Why you have to be brief? Because the audience's attention spans are short. Okay, so this is why you have to be brief, because the audience has got the attention span, very less attention span. So this is that is why it is generally told to speak less and also speak very less, and try to explain the information in less words. More information should be given in less words. Okay, आप बहुत ज़्यादा उस पे आप स्टोरी सुना रहे हैं, बोल रहे हैं, तो वो कंटेंट और वैल्यू उस बात की खत्म हो जाती है. So don't dwell on the subject, a specific subject, for too long. Okay. Then we come to the next point, that is ask questions to keep the audience engaged. So this can be something as simple, because you have to keep on making the audience interesting, that you have to keep asking the questions rather than just giving the delivery. You just have to also ask the questions to the audience so that they are always engaged and their attention span is in continuity. Third point is speak to your demographic. That means that जिस लैंग्वेज को वो लोग समझ पा रहे हैं उसी लैंग्वेज में बोलना है. You cannot have very flowery language. If you are trying to speak in a very fashionable language, or trying to put in more difficult words, then it is difficult for the audience to understand. Okay, so you have to keep them engaged by speaking their kind of language. एक general लैंग्वेज में बात करेंगे तो उनको ज्यादा अच्छे से समझ में आएगा. अगर आप बहुत फैशनेबल और बहुत डिफिकल्ट वर्ड्स का यूज करेंगे, so then they will not be able to speak understand very well. So we have to speak to the level of the audience, that how they can understand. So you have to match the semantics. Semantics means the nitty-gritty of the language. Like आप उसको जितना सिंपल और इजी बनाते हैं जिससे कि आप जो ऑडियंस है वो आसानी से समझ सके, वो आपकी उतनी आपकी सीमेंटिक्स ऑडियंस के साथ अच्छी रहेगी. ओके, वर्क ऑन योर टोन. That means the style and tone of speaking, it has to match with the expression and the hand gestures and the movement of your body. Like your expression should match with your body language. So this is how you have to work on your tone and the style of speaking. Okay, so it takes practice तो आप 2-3 बार जब आप प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तभी उसमें बन सकता है, फर्स्ट टाइम में नहीं होता है. So generally when you are presenting it, you have to rehearse, you have to practice it again and again, so that you give your expressions according to your body language, and it is not looking like unnatural or artificial, so it comes out naturally. Okay, so you have to work on your tone and style of speaking. So let me also add here, that is style of speaking. So this also should come out naturally. It always comes through practice. Avoid speaking softly or other speech patterns that make you seem unconfident. So confidence lana hai, okay? So you have to speak in a tone which makes you confident. अगर आप बहुत धीरे बोलेंगे तो आपका confidence lose हो जाता है. तो आपकी जो tone है या आपका जो confidence है वो आपकी speech के साथ ही आएगा. Okay? You should avoid non-fluencies. What are non-fluencies? That sometimes when we are speaking, we try to use some kind of a sound which automatically comes from your mouth if you do not have a good good command over the language. Okay, so what these non-fluencies are, that sometimes you use इस तरह की आवाजें निकलती है अगर आपके पास लैंग्वेज का कमांड नहीं है. If you have a good command over the language, then you will not have these type of sounds to fill in. Okay, because the sentence will come automatically and you will not be trying to find or trying to think about it in your mind. So when you are continuously trying to think some of the words in your mind, then you take some time, and that time generally makes some kind of a sound when you are speaking. Okay, so there should be a good command over the language. There should be a good fluency of speaking any kind of language, whether it is English or Hindi, so that such type of sounds do not fill your words. Okay, so you have to take care that such type of sound should not should not be there to bother you while you are using your sentences. Sometimes you must have seen that some people try to use lot of adverbs like actually, exactly, definitely. So unnecessarily इसको use करते हैं, which is not generally necessary. So unbelievably, like, okay, so all these things they generally try to use such type of words because they do not have a good command over English, and when they are speaking English, they think that if you are using such kind of words like, बहुत ज़्यादा कई लोग like करके बोलते हैं, तो उसमें क्या है कि ऐसा लगता है कि you do not have fluency in your language, and you are trying to fill in words with such type of adverbs like actually, unbelievably, exactly. तो हर थोड़ी देर पीछे आप ये words use कर रहे हैं. So now, I mean, इस तरह के भी words होते हैं. What are you thinking about? Do you understand? इस तरह के आप बार-बार sentences को repeat करते हैं. So you should be very aware of these type of words should not come into your sentences quite often. कभी कभी आ जाए तो ठीक है, but not quite often, so that people might not think that you are trying to fill in some kind of a fill in the blanks when you are trying to recall the words which are not coming into your mind. So you have to use your language with fluency, have a good command over language, and also a good command over grammar. Grammatical sentences should not be wrong. Okay, and don't try to fill these words like actually, इस तरह के words को avoid करिए. So this is the voice dynamics. If you try to give a presentation orally, and if you are speaking very softly, then also it is very difficult for audience to understand. If you are shouting or having a shrieking voice or having a non-fluency or having a kind of a harsh voice or nasal voice, then also there is some kind of an irritation for the audience. Okay, so audience को आप जब audience सुनती है तो आप जो भी बोल रहे हैं वो उनको attractive इसलिए नहीं लगता है. They cannot make a good impression because you have got either a very harsh voice, very loud voice, very shrieking, nasal voice, or so on. So you have to control all kind of such voices which does not seem very good to hear to your ears, and you have to control these voice dynamics. Okay, so we have discussed here about how to improve on your voice dynamics when you are giving an oral presentation. So these things will be useful for communication skills as well, because when you are communicating with the other person, then you have to make sure that the other person should not get irritated by your voice, by your speech, it should look more pleasant. It should look more beautiful when you are speaking, rather than giving a wrong impression to the audience. So we come to the body language now, and we'll try to finish this today. So what is a body language? It is a kind of a non-verbal communication skills. We have seen that what is non-verbal communication skills? Any communication which is not done through words, but through your gestures, through hand movements, through your expressions, your facial expressions, or through signs, language, your attitude, your behavior. Okay, so your attitude and behavior is also trying to convey something to the other person. जो कम्युनिकेट हो रहा है वो आपके बिहेवियर से, आपके एक्सप्रेशन से भी कम्युनिकेट हो जाता है दूसरों को, इवन इफ यू आर नॉट यूजिंग एनी काइंड ऑफ वर्ड्स. ओके, सो नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन स्किल इज व्हेन नो वर्ड्स आर यूज्ड, but your body language and your facial features, expressions, hand gestures, posture try to give a kind of an impression to the audience that what type of personality you have. So that is what is non-verbal communication. And in your course there is a topic body language. So we will try to see that what does body language means. Body language means that the language which is being conveyed through your body. That means it through your hands, through your movement of legs, through your gestures, walking style, sitting style, confidence, your expressions, your movement of eyes, cheeks, eyebrows, or whatever, or your neck. Okay, so how we can improve on that so that it matches with your expression and it does not go out of your if the content is not matching with the expression and your body language, then there is it does not create a very good impression to the audience. Okay, so we will see that how your body language should be. So the correct body language and the points are given here. First we will start with the stand at a comfortable distance. So whenever we are speaking, we have to have a comfortable distance. Okay, so it is more appropriate now due to COVID reasons. Also, we have to maintain social distance while we are speaking. So it now it is used for such purposes also. So stand at a comfortable distance. That means 2.5 to 7 feet if you are having an audience. अगर आप हॉल में हैं तो हॉल से आपको 2.5 feet का distance तो होना ही चाहिए. Even if you are in a group, then also try to create a distance while you are in a group. ऐसा नहीं है कि बहुत close आके या किसी के पास बहुत close जाके आप बात कर रहे हैं. You have to have an appropriate distance of at least 1 or 2 feet when you are speaking in a group also. Eye contact should be proper. What does this mean? That when you are speaking, you have to look into the eyes of the other person. Otherwise, if you are speaking to someone and you are looking somewhere else, if you are looking at the ceiling or to the ground, then it does not give a very good impression. So you have to take care that when you are speaking to the person, the honesty seems when you continuously try to have a look in the eyes when you are speaking. And if you are not speaking, you can always keep a distance of your eyes. But जब आप बात कर रहे हैं तो आप प्रॉपर्ली उनसे बात करिए. ऐसा नहीं है कि उधर देख के बात कर रहे हैं, दैट मीन्स कि यू आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन द कन्वर्सेशंस, यू डू नॉट वांट टू लुक इनटू द आईज. सो यू हैव टू हैव अ प्रॉपर आई कांटेक्ट व्हेन यू आर स्पीकिंग. हाउ टू अपीयर कॉन्फिडेंट व्हेन यू आर स्पीकिंग? योर शोल्डर्स एंड बैक शुड बी स्ट्रेट. ओके, आपका लीनिंग बैक नहीं होनी चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप झुके हुए खड़े हैं और आप बात प्रॉपर्ली नहीं कर पा रहे हैं क्योंकि आप में वो कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है कि आप स्ट्रेट खड़े हो पाए. सो यू हैव टू हैव अ स्ट्रेट जेस्चर. दैट मीन्स योर शोल्डर्स एंड बैक शुड बी स्ट्रेट. आर्म्स एट योर साइड. ओके, कई लोग हैं स्पेशली इंडिया में, आपने देखा होगा कहीं खुजाते रहते हैं या फिर कुछ अपना ठीक करते रहते हैं या रिस्ट मोड़ते रहते हैं या प्लेइंग विद योर बैंगल्स और प्लेइंग विद योर रिस्ट वॉच और ट्राइंग टू play with your keychains or your pen. So that generally give a lack of confidence. Okay, so you have to have your arms at your side, held in front of your body when making gestures. तो आप जब बात करते हैं तो आपके जो हैंड मूवमेंट्स वो प्रॉपर होने चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप कहीं पर अननेसेसरी कुछ ऐसी चीजें कर रहे हैं which is not appropriate when you are speaking to someone, in front of someone. Hands should not be in the pocket, it should be outside the pocket. Hands should be open or only slightly closed. Slightly closed means this. ऐसा नहीं बहुत ज़्यादा, but generally this way, so that you can have a very good gesture when you are speaking to someone. Or either it should be open and at the side. Smile is the best part of your feature, so you should not have any control over your smile. You should just smile fluently. Okay, so smile slightly or keep your face neutral. Then long strides, that means you have to have a kind of a long sentences or explanatory sentences, और उसको try to convey it through a proper gesture so that you can explain the things in a proper manner. Make every movement purposeful and decided. Okay? तो कोई एक्स्ट्रा जेस्चर्स नहीं है, जैसे कई लोग बहुत ज्यादा हाथ इधर उधर फैलाते हैं, ऊपर कर करके बात करते हैं, which is not allowed, which is not proper. So make your hands in control of your body. आपकी जो body space दी गई है, जो भी भगवान ने आपको एक बॉडी स्पेस दी, उसी के अंदर आप रखिए. डोंट गो आउटसाइड ऑफ योर बॉडी स्पेस. सो योर मूवमेंट शुड बी डिसाइडेड. टेक प्रॉप्स और हैंडआउट्स और रेज्यूमे. when you are giving an oral presentation, आप handouts भी रख सकते हैं, so that you can distribute the handouts or your notes to everybody, and that is how the explanation could be very clear. Now if you are keeping a paper in your hand, अगर आप किसी पेपर के साथ प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहे हैं, so ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि ये हिल रहा है या ऐसे फ्लिप फ्लॉप हो रहा है. So it has to be properly and neatly covered, and hold, the hold should be proper so that it does not flip flop and does not make sound, unnecessary sound in the mic. Then we come to the personal appearance. The personal appearance should be neat. It should be formal for professional attitude. It has to be very formal. ऐसा नहीं बहुत ज्वेलरी, बहुत कॉस्मेटिक, बहुत तरह का हेयर स्टाइल. You just keep all these things for marriage parties and other functions. But when you are in your office and when you are presenting professionally, then you have to be very formal and you have to create a good impression by showing yourself as a formally presenter. Okay, so your appearance counts a lot. It has to be very neat. Neatly hair should be set, neatly cut, and neat frame or neat dress sense and all those things. Then we come to the posture. Posture should be straight. It should not be bent or it should not be leaning. मतलब leaning मतलब ऐसा झुका हुआ posture नहीं. आप straight चलिए, straight बैठिए. This shows your high spirit, energy and confidence. Gesture means the movement of hands and body. Okay, arms, shoulders, fingers, neck, ये सब gestures होते हैं. तो आपके जो gestures हैं वो भी proper होने चाहिए. So you should not be playing with ring, twisting keychain, playing with your wristwatch, or you can just go through all these gestures. That when you are presenting, you have to see that your hand movement should be proper, or your neck movement and eyebrow movement should be proper. It should not be unnecessarily too much. Facial expressions. Your human facial expression, human face is what is the best considered as the best communicator. Your eyes are considered as the best communicator. That how you communicate through your eyes, through your smiles. So that should be proper. So your facial expression should match the content or the topic which you are speaking. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप कुछ बोल रहे हैं और कुछ और expression दे रहे हैं, कुछ और लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है. So it has to match with your expression. You have to keep a proper distance with the boss and the seniors. मतलब maintaining a distance. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपके boss भी आपके friend हैं, आपके seniors भी friend हैं, juniors भी friend हैं. सब लोग friend नहीं होते. There are like 150 employees in the company. Then you cannot be friend with everybody. You can be friend with 4 or 5 people, but not with everybody. So you have to keep a distance with boss, seniors, juniors. Keep professional distance with colleagues. Okay, you cannot sit very close and try to be very friendly with them. You have to keep a professional distance. Professional space should be given to the employees. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आप हमेशा उनके साथ हैं. You have to give them a professional space also. So we have finished our topic for this unit. Most of the topic have been covered from unit 4. So I will take attendance and will leave you. But if you have any questions regarding this, then we can discuss. We will have your quiz next week when we finish the unit 5. So in the next week, I will start with unit 5. So I will take your attendance quickly and then you can leave. 71, 72, 73 are not present. 76 भी नहीं है, मगर ये शायद आए थे. 78 and 79 are present. 80 भी present है. 81 is okay. 81 is also present. Just appeared. 82 is also present. 83 present. 84, 85 is present. 86 and 87. 88 is not present. 89 is present. 90 is present और बाकी सब 97 तक I think present है. 95, 96 are not there.
मैम 95 का भी लेफ्ट हो गया शायद.
ठीक है. 96 हर्ष गौतम भी आए थे, सबसे पहले ज्वाइन किया था उन्होंने, वो अब है नहीं यहाँ पे. 98 and is present. Okay. 99 is not there. 300 भी है. 1, 2.
मैम 98 is present मैम.
98 is present. Yes. But 99 is not there. And 303 is also not there.
मैम 300 प्रेजेंट है.
300 तो प्रेजेंट है. 303 नहीं है. कुणाल वर्मा नहीं है. थ्री 306 नम्रता, ये आई थी मगर ये अभी दिख नहीं रही है. 307 is not present. 309 is also absent. 12 is also absent. 16 is present. Okay. 17, 18. 320 is not present. आए तो थे ये, श्रेया आई थी, फिर दिख नहीं रही है अभी. (28) प्रेजेंट नहीं है. हाँ 28 प्रेजेंट है. 29 प्रेजेंट नहीं है. So I have marked your attendance. You can leave for your next class. Thank you.